Greetings, everyone. This is Sophisticated Intuition with your spiritual insight messages for the year of 2020. This is going to be a general reading and it may or may not resonate with you. If you are interested in a personal reading, my information is in the description box. I have already meditated and shuffled the cards. I'm going to be drawing 4 cards from the Black Moon Astrology deck for the overall energy for each quarter of the year. And then I will draw a tarot card for one tarot card for each month of the year, and then do some clarifying and additional messages. So we'll go ahead and get started. Holy Spirit, Archangels, angels, ascended masters, and ancestors, what messages do we have for the sign of Aquarius for the year of 2020? Let's see here. First quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. Okay. All right, Aquarius. So for the first quarter, we have the Pluto transformation. Okay. I'm not even going to sit up here and pretend like I know all the planetary alignments and where everything is. I'm getting better at it, but I do not know currently where Pluto is placed or how it's going to affect your zodiac specifically in terms of astrology. I'm getting more and more information as I go, but I do encourage you to look this up because this is in the first quarter and we are currently in the first quarter of the year 2020. So I do encourage you to go ahead and kind of get some information for yourself. But what stands out to me, one is the 11 on this card. And then we're talking about transformation. The message there is transformation. So for you, Aquarius, it sounds like in the first quarter that you may actually be going through a spiritual awakening or having some type of enlightenment and some type of epiphany about life, about what you have experienced so far, and having a major transformation. And I will be talking about that on my site, on my YouTube channel, as far as the experience that I have had recently in terms of going through a spiritual transformation. So Aquarius, how funny is that? Because I have an Aquarius moon. You probably are experiencing or have experienced some type of significant transformation. And I'm not talking about you got a new job. I'm not talking about you got a new car. I'm not talking about you changed the way that you wear your clothing or the type of apparel. Maybe you went from your 20s to your 30s and now you want to be more reserved in what you're wearing. No, this is from the inside out. You are no longer or will no longer be the individual that you once were, probably by the time that the year ends. So that's what's going on for you, at least the beginning of it. Don't be surprised, or you probably already have been seeing some signs and synchronicities. And again, I'm really going to talk and touch base on what my experience was in a spiritual transformation in my YouTube channel. I haven't determined the title of that video yet, so that will be coming. That is going to launch on January 11th, midday. So be on the lookout for that, Aquarius, because I think that you might, if you are experiencing this, if this is the initial process for you, then I may be able to shed some light on that for you as well. So I hope to see you or have you view that video just to gain some clarity. But that is your first quarter. I've carried on too long for that one. I'm going to try to keep these short, but I can go on and on. Some of my personal clients know that time is of no restriction. It's an illusion. So in your second quarter, we have Uranus. Uranus, this card for this particular deck, Uranus is similar to a tower energy. Some unexpected change of event is going to occur in your second quarter. So we're talking, what is that, April, May, June, I want to say, right? January, February, March, or April, May, June. Yeah, so April, May, June, we're looking at, in your second quarter, some significant change of events. And I'm just looking at the cards that came out for you, and I mean, I'm going to touch on each one of them for you really quickly, really briefly. But what I am seeing seriously for you, Aquarius. Now, it could just be as simple as changing jobs, like, or not just changing a job, but changing the career path that you've been on. Like, this is major for you, Aquarius. Whatever is happening for you this year in 2020, it's major. You're not having just like the brush of luck, or um, I had to move. You moved, but you like the area that you live in, so you only moved a couple blocks away. No, you are uprooting yourself from where you have been and moving clear across town, clear across country, clear across I wanted to say planets. It just feels like that's the energy. Like, you are changing, Aquarius. So be on the lookout for that. And it's not always comfortable. Again, I want to talk so much more about that in my transformation experience video, but it's not going to be comfortable necessarily, but it's going to be good for you. It is good change for you so far as what I'm seeing, but when I pull the tarot, we'll get more information about that. That's second quarter. In your third quarter, you have Jupiter returns benefits. So Jupiter right now, it depends on who you're talking to. It's a big debate. Western astrology versus I'm going to pronounce it incorrectly, Vedic astrology, I think it is. Again, I'm still learning more about astrology, so I'm no expert there, guys. There are plenty of experts out on YouTube, and I do, this is something that interests you, that you definitely take a look at them. I'm starting to take notes from the videos that I watch, so that when I speak on this in my readings, that I'll be able to speak with some clarity and with some truth to you. And when these particular cards pop up, because what I'm seeing for you, Aquarius, is a lot of planetary alignment. Is really and it's really like, I feel excited for you. But Jupiter, okay, going back to my original thought here, is Jupiter is transitioning through, again, depending on who you're talking to, either Sagittarius or Capricorn. Either way, in either of those signs, Jupiter is like winning the lottery. Jupiter is a jackpot, okay? It is winning. So at this time, all of the zodiac is really experiencing a level of expansion, a level of blessings, just blessings, the things that we have prayed for and wanted most. But that just dropped in my spirit very heavily. Like, Aquarius, you want something, but really think about that, because I mean, we all want something, right? So I don't want to be too broad in that statement, but there is an Aquarius that's watching here that wants something, that has wanted something for so long, but there's an element of, you get it and it's not necessarily what you wanted. So take heed to that. So think through your intentions or your manifestations, and set them clearly, because you want to be mindful of the things that you are wishing for. I'm trying to think of an example, like, just, I'm a woman, so I'm going to speak from a woman's perspective most of the time. And, like, I've always liked the tall, thin, brown skinned guy, right? Physically, the physique is more, slim, like a basketball player, if you will. That's just what I've always been attracted to. That's what I always wanted. And then I finally get someone like that. Now, this is just general speaking, because I don't have anybody. But I finally get someone like that, and I find out that it's uncomfortable. He, laying on him, or is uncomfortable. He's bony. So this is just like some random example that is coming to mind. But be mindful of that, Aquarius. Like, there's something that you want out there, and Jupiter is willing to give it to you, or the planetary alignments, I should say, because the way it looks here for you is that there is a planetary alignment that is providing to you the thing that you want, the blessings. that you deserve, that you work so hard for, but you're setting your intentions or you're focused on a manifestation that you need to put some detail to. Okay. And that is in your third quarter. All right. Now looking at the fourth quarter, look at who showed up. Aquarius. Okay, so this card is in the original tarot deck, it kind of represents the star. Okay, so the star is about healing, it's about clarity, it's about your wishes being fulfilled. And there's two cards in the tarot deck that really speak to wish fulfillment, but when I see the star come out, it is one representation of the Aquarius, but it speaks to me of the angels. So, yes, it's the star. However, I get a vibe of the angels who heard your message, heard your request, took it to God. God said yes, and they come back down and they bless you with it. That's just the energy that I get from the star card. Okay. And the Aquarius card here in the Black Moon astrology is equal to the star in the original tarot deck. So in your fourth quarter, the energy that I'm picking up is that it's just all about you, baby. It's about the Aquarius. It's about your inner knowing. It's about um, knowing who you are, recognizing who you are, appreciating who you are. Um, I'm gonna open this up with the tarot because I feel so good. That's the energy that I feel right now, and that's your fourth quarter, and that's Aquarius, and I'm an Aquarius moon, so I'm feeling that energy strong, baby. But that is your overall energy for the year of 2020. Okay, so let's push these up just a little bit because I know I'm going to need some space. All right. So we're going to take one card for each month, and then I'll do some clarifying, and I'm not sure which one of my oracles I'm going to use for an additional message, but we will find out. Let's see what was on the bottom there. Look at that. Eighth house. Endings and beginnings. So this is the I forget, I think it's the Nine of Wands, I think it is in comparison to in the tarot deck. I had to pull the book to take a look at it, but when I see it, and oftentimes when I have this card pulled for myself or one of my other clients, the death card from the original tarot will pop out, and the death card represents transformation. And so just going back, here we go, Pluto. I apologize. I will have a better setup soon, so that you can be able to see the clarity, or see the cards clear. I'm sorry. But transformation, Aquarius, you have a significant transformation occurring, and by the end of this year, you are going to be in your full power. Okay? Nobody will be able to tell you anything, but remember to transcend your ego, because that's not cute. Okay? But you will be in your full power. All right, so we're going to pull 12 cards and see what Spirit has for us for the year 2020 for the sign of Aquarius, please. That was January, February, March. I'm going to need more space than this. How about for the month of April for 2020 for the sign of Aquarius? Okay, Spirit. Okay. Look at who showed up. Sorry, guys. I was just trying to get some energy off of the card so I can give you a very clear and precise reading for the year of 2020 for the sign of Aquarius. Thank you. Whoa. Okay. So, two fell out there, but the one that I took was the Eight of Cups. That's at the end of the year. That's so amazing. But the one that I'm gonna put back, but I like to take note when I get an additional card, is the King of Cups. So we're looking at that in the month of December. Okay. So let's remember that here. What am I doing? Put that actually. Bring him at the top because he was at the bottom of the deck. Bottom of the deck is Page of Pentacles. So this is some overall energy for your year of 2020. So there is some offer, there's some apology, there is some new, okay? I see very new stability for you, Aquarius. This is just standing out to me like, I almost feel like it's you versus someone else. I'm really picking up that it's you giving yourself in a new way. Absolutely, Aquarius. Your energy is very it's very beautiful. I'm really picking up some very beautiful energy for the Aquarius. Okay, so let's talk about what came out. So January, I have Six of Pentacles. This talks about equal give and take. This talks about balance. This talks about reciprocity. This is, that gentleman is given to the beggars. So there's something in January in terms of some equalness that needs to occur. I am kind of picking up that this is something that has been going on for a while, where you don't feel like you get what you deserve. Okay, but that is coming in the month of January, or it may be the latter part. I'm really feeling towards the end here, where you're gonna feel like finally somebody is gonna give back to me. Again, Aquarius, I'm picking up on ego with you. So try to transcend that. Do some work on your ego. Try to be, some people really don't like to be humble or don't like the idea of what humbleness or humility means. But I think that that's what you see. Like, these people are, they have nothing. They are begging. Okay, when you get to the level of begging, you have no ego. You have no pride. You yeah, Aquarius, I'm getting a sense of ego. So come down a notch. You feel like you're not getting what you deserve, but at the same time, there's an energy around you that suggests that you're entitled. And no one likes entitlement. We talk about it a lot with the millennials, but it's not just them. So there may be some millennials watching. Hey, let go of your entitlement. We have to work hard for the things that we get in life. Most of us, I know that there are going to be some folks that are privileged out there that are going to watch, and thank you very much for checking in on little me. But even they have to work hard for whatever it is, come up with these grand ideas, these YouTube channels and things that we want to put out there. And there's work that has to be put into it. And you've put that work in, Aquarius, and you are putting that work in. But don't get beside yourself and think that you are bigger than, that someone owes you something. Be humble. Okay. Yeah, because that came out up in your overall there as well. So, looking at February, blessings. Okay. So when I'm looking at the Ace of Cups, and then I go back to what your energy was going to be in your overall for the quarters, this makes sense in terms of that Uranus. I really did feel like that Uranus card coming out was going to be, it is associated with like a good tower moment. It's an overflowing. Okay. There may be a breaking down to get to it. Maybe you're having to, maybe there is something that comes that humbles you, right? And there's that hand of God with your blessing because you surrendered. Okay. So be on the lookout for that. I'm really feeling, the Ace of Cups does talk about also a new beginning in love. It can be a reconciliation with someone and renewing that love, and so that cup overflows once the two of you come into union, or it could be about a brand new love. This message for the Aquarius, however, I feel is really about self love. Not just self love. Again, it's about just recognizing that I go back here in January, where I see this, and something that I always keep in mind for my personal self. I was taught from my great great aunt who raised me that it could be you at any moment. And I almost feel like that Uranus and this Ace of Cups is almost that moment of that could have been me. Like you get blessed and you realize that you were $1 shy of being homeless. Okay. So I'm really picking that energy up heavy for the month of February. That's exciting. That's exciting. There's a blessing on the way for you, Aquarius, in the month of February for sure. Now, off in March, I don't know what happened. You're stressed, anxious, tossing and turning. Um, we're going to clarify and see what this might be about, but something is keeping you up at night. Something, even, or if you are a night shifter and you work, you work nights and you typically sleep during the day, then you're not sleeping during the day. You, ooh, okay. So the energy is like, it's shifting for me for the month of March for the Aquarius sign. Like there's some worry, there's some anxiety. Maybe it almost feels like the blessing that you received back in February or towards the end, towards going into, that it's like too good to be true. Just accept it, just receive it. This is God's gift to you. Don't toss and turn about it or feel like you are falling short. But this could be about anything. Again, this is a general reading. I highly encourage you to reach out to me for personal readings if this is resonating for you, because we can get a whole lot more information when we sit down together and I'm able to uh, get into your personal energy. But for some of the Aquarius here, there's an energy in March of stress. So something's coming up that may make you worried. But I really do suggest that you put that away. And it just kind of carries over into April. Because here, now you're in the Eight of Swords. So that was a Nine of Swords. Okay. And now you're in the Eight. So you are starting to feel some relief from the stress and the anxiety. But you're still trapped in your mind over it. It's like everything's okay now, but you're thinking about everything. You're like trying to stay 10 steps ahead because you don't want it to happen again. You are super focused on whatever happened. I got to get some clarity, clarifiers to see what other information is going to provide for us today, Aquarius. But understand that in the month of March and April, you seem to be a little worried. You seem to be a little trapped in your mind. The swords are all about thoughts. So you can cut yourself out of that situation. You're just overthinking it. It's not as bad as it looks, is what I heard. Okay. It's not as bad as it looks. So keep that in mind. And talking about as it looks, moving over. So up into May, it looks like there is, okay, so this is a Page of Swords. Page of Swords. When I pull him, he's a little bit of a stalker card for me. He's a little bit of, and I'll use he or she. Don't get too caught up in that because it's all energy, baby. We all have the divine masculine and the divine feminine. So your person that you have in mind, if you're thinking in terms of love, your boss that you had in mind, if it's you actually have a female boss or a male boss, and I'm talking about your career, don't get too caught up in the genders because it's just all energy. But the Page of Swords energy for me is he's a little bit of a watcher. He's a little bit of a nosy Rosie. He's on your social media. He may not even be your friend on social media, but if your page is public, he reads your stuff every day to see what you're doing. Um, or if you have a YouTube, he follows your YouTube and watches what you're adding to your content, so he can know what's going on with you. But he doesn't. Um, I don't want to say that because the page does send messages. Um, for me, well, in my experience, when the page comes out, it's telepathic messages. Oftentimes, everyone is not in tune, and I understand that. If you're watching these, you probably are to a certain degree, but I know that everyone's not doing the work. Even though you're interested in the spiritual, intuitive messages, you may not be doing the work, and you may not be able to tap into. The ability to hear those telepathic messages clearly. If you're interested, I'll be talking about that in some of my spiritual transformation videos. So tune in on January 11th. Those are some of the topics, but those topics will be spread out throughout the year. So just check in with me throughout the year. But this guy here, he may be watching you. He or she may be watching you. They may be getting ready to send you a message, a brand new interest is what I'm picking up for you, Aquarius. There's a brand new interest either in you or you and them. This is your energy, so it's air energy, so it's Aquarius. Oh my goodness. Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. Just lost my train of thought there. So, but Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, this is your energy. So just understand that you could have a brand new interest going into the month of May that you're just kind of keeping an eye out on. Okay. All right, June. So June, Aquarius, the Hierophant is here. The Hierophant is here, and I am not surprised. He talks about a higher level of commitment. He talks about spirituality and its traditions. He is your priest, your pastor. Okay. So there may be something going on in your religious organization that you are tied to, whatever that might be, because I know that there are traditionalists that will come here and watch. I know I have family and friends that are traditionalists, but that are going to find this intriguing and come here. So understand that this may just be about your traditional spiritual organization that you are affiliated with. But I am picking up, there was a lot about transformation for you, Aquarius, in the first quarter of this year. So this is a part of the second quarter. So I'm not surprised that anxiety and being trapped in the mind and having a brand new interest, then followed by that is the Hierophant. So all of the experiences that you will have up until the month of June is going to lead you to potentially a brand new spiritual experience. Okay. You have a tower moment, or you have that tower moment, that Uranus energy that came out in your second quarter. It talks about breaking down the foundation to rebuild. And when you rebuild, you're not going to have the same design. And for some reason, I am picking up the energy from this Hierophant that it is going to be a brand new design for you. So whatever that means for you, Aquarius, if you are in a relationship, then your relationship is, if you're a romantic relationship, is going to develop into a brand new design. So whatever areas were lacking or had void in them, perhaps are going to be filled. If this is in terms of work, then perhaps you are getting a new line of employment. I really don't feel like it's the same that you've been doing. Like it may be complete opposite. Like you've been a cashier at the Walmart for 25 years and you love that job, but it just wasn't cutting the bills for you, or it wasn't fulfilling you in some form. So you started just putting out applications, and somehow, somewhere, someone found you on LinkedIn and offered you an administrative assistant position, at a law office or something, completely opposite of what you were doing. It is brand spanking new. You have a brand new perspective. And there it is tied to your spirituality. So whatever you're praying for, okay, I'm picking that up heavy. Ooh, this gonna be running so long. I be going on and on. Come on, spirit, but deliver the message. All right, so going into the month of July, which I'm not surprised you have some fire energy in the month of July. So that could be a fire sign surrounding you. So that's Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries. That person, or it's just representing that timing. So a lot of times I'll get some cards that will kind of just indicate that timing. So the clarifier will give us more information about what the King of Wands is representing. But he does represent action. He does represent passion, passionate action. He gets things done. Okay. That is what the King of Wands does. In terms of, I really feel like the King of Wands. So I know the King of Cups came out earlier, and he's a very loving king. He doesn't necessarily wear his heart on his sleeve, but he's very loving, very caring, very nurturing. The King of Wands, though, I think he kind of takes on that energy as well. Um, and it's very endearing. Like, that's what I'm picking up from him. For some reason, I'm getting a King of Cups energy from my King of Wands. So perhaps there's someone that's going to be like doting over you. And again, do not, hold yourselves to the gender. This could be a Queen of Wands that's doting on you. But I just feel like taking the action to love on you the way you need to be loved. I did pick up some love in there. So we'll see what the clarifiers have to say. But this also could be just in terms of that spiritual transformation that you're experiencing, Aquarius. Like, it's all over the place here. And I do have the Queen of Wands here. I'm going to pick her up in just a little while, but that just talks about like divine partnership. When I have two of the same suit come out, King and Queen, then it really speaks volumes of what you are experiencing. I will tell you that oftentimes a spiritual transformation, when you are going through that, experiencing that awakening and that awareness of your higher level of consciousness, that it brings you a certain vibration that attracts your divine counterpart. And I do feel like this is going to occur in the summer months, during Leo season is what I'm feeling. I'm really picking up the Leo energy here with the King of Wands coming out. And you have some spiritual transformation occurring in your life, whether you realize it or not. And it is going to attract your divine counterpart. And I will tell you that that is not an easy part. That's probably, maybe, it might be the hardest part of a spiritual transformation, introducing love into it, because there can be some push and pull, but we'll talk about that in my spiritual transformation videos. Can't promote that enough for you, Aquarius. I'll try not to do it to the other signs. Hope to see you there. All right, moving on. So in August, we have the Four of Pentacles here. Okay, there's some holding on. There is so okay, the Four of Pentacles is about stability. It's also about, holding on to your pennies too tight, or spending them too loosely and needing to hold on to them tightly because you have something that you're going to need that money for. So with this Four of Pentacles right here, I just really took aback. Like, my breath almost got took out of me. Like, that you need to be careful how you spend. Or it's not even about, these are pentacles, so definitely could be talking about your finances, but it's like you need to pull back on some activity that you are doing. I'm really drawn to that pentacle on the top of his head. So this is something spiritual for you as well. Like, Aquarius, you're going through a spiritual transformation. That's all I can tell you, baby. When I'm looking at these cards, like, there's something occurring for you, or you have gone through it, and this is the next level, the next step in that process for you, that there is some additional things that you need to shed away in order to get further in alignment. Wow. So I'm looking at it, and I was looking at the pentacle on top of the head, but then I'm looking further closer into it, and it's just a certain level of alignment here on this. And I don't think I've ever been drawn to that before, but there's just this certain um, alignment that is occurring for you in the month of August. Okay, for the Four of Pentacles. Again, clarifiers might change this entire story, but we'll see what happens. Moving on. For September, you have the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is Jupiter energy, so this makes sense. It's in the third quarter. Jupiter returns, right, in the third quarter. Then you have the Wheel of Fortune. So Jupiter, it sounds like in the third quarter, is going to manifest again. The material, it's going to manifest, or excuse me, your manifestations are going to materialize for you in that third quarter. It's looking like in the month of September is where you're going to see that Wheel of Fortune just kind of turn in your favor. Just gonna, it makes me think of, because the Wheel of Fortune also for me is about divine timing, and I think for most readers it is, but it's about divine timing. It turns just at that right hour. And so if you're a traditionalist, or you just you may know the song, like it's really bringing it to me late in the midnight hour, that God's going to turn it around for you. So take heed to that. And I know we're in the month of January, so if you're going through something right now, and you're like, what, Sophisticated, you said in September it's going to turn around? Okay, you have some blessings coming through in between there. Keep your thoughts positive. Keep your, get out of this energy. Don't be trapped in your mind. Do some meditation and stay focused. That's another thing that I'm picking up here, is that you need to stay focused, because you are experiencing some level of a spiritual transformation, awakening awareness, and it pushes you to the limits. I'll tell you that. So that's what's going on in the month of September. Okay, so then what happens? I told you, it's all over the place. I don't even read reversals, okay? But I do find it funny in both of my Rider-Waite style decks, that the Hangman on occasion will come out in reverse all by himself. He just does it. I don't have nothing to do with it because I don't read reversals. I don't even shuffle my deck in that way. So you have some enlightenment when the Hangman comes out in reverse. So when the Hangman is upright, to me it's almost a very similar energy, like one way or the other. When he is upright, or hanged man, if you will, he is getting a new perspective. He is seeing things from another light, or he is, I also feel like he gives me a Two of Pentacles energy, where he like weighs out his options. He is like, just think about yourself hanging upside down with your thoughts, trying to figure it out, right? Well, now he's figured it out. Okay. So in terms of spiritual awakening, spiritual enlightenment, Aquarius, you figured it out. Okay. You tapped in. So that's for a grand majority of you. I am not picking this up for a few. This is what the Aquarius will experience. And I think, for the collective, like, I do feel like Sagittarian went through, I'm a Sagittarius, so I feel like the Sagittarian collective went through this period for the last year or so, as we get ready for our, again, it's depending on who you're talking to, but as we get ready for the Wheel of Fortune to turn in our favor, that we had to go through and experience a lot of that awakening awareness as well. And so Aquarius, this is what I'm picking up on your energy, is that towards that fourth quarter, that end of the year, in the month of October, that you become aware of something. Okay. With the clarifiers, we'll get more information. It'll kind of give me, is this work? Is this love? What's going on? All right. Then Queen of Wands, I told you she was here. I love her. Okay. She is fire energy. She is Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries. So you may have, you may be dealing with a fire sign, because that's what I see here, is that this two matching pair, the Queen and the King, look at them looking at each other. So, or you may have strong fire in your chart. I do recommend that you get to know your chart, your sun, moon, and rising, because when you know your chart, then you can understand the energies that you experience throughout, throughout the planetary alignments. There's a lot that you can learn about yourself by knowing your chart. And then in terms of listening to the spiritual intuitive messages, there's so many readers out there. And if you listen to your sun, moon, and rising, then you can kind of get a collective message for yourself, as well as if you're cross watching for someone that you love and care about. Then you can get some more information about them if you know the full chart. All you really need, there's several websites out there that will provide you with your sun, moon, and rising. And all you really need is the date and time that you were born and location. And then it will provide you with that. The moon changes all the time, so it's going to be very difficult for you to calculate that portion on your own if you don't have the time that you were born. But you can figure out your sun and ascendant sign without that. Okay, moving on. Queen of Wands here. She takes action. Okay, she's the queen. She is about that life. Okay, Aquarius. So, in the month of November, you're taking action. You are getting it done. She stands in her power. She looks good too. She's very attractive. So you may be attracted to a fire sign. This could be a part of that new love or that new beginning in love. You may have a fire sign, like I said, that you are connected to. But I'm really picking up, like, let's go get it. Like, it's towards the end of the year, but it's preparing for the next, year to come. So there's just a lot of work that you're doing, Aquarius, this year, on yourself. It looks like a lot of inner work at the beginning. Okay. And then you take it externally towards the end of the year, taking that action. Again, we're going to clarify. I am picking up for those who might be interested in love. Okay, this is general, but I am picking up that divine counterpart situation here because I have the king and the queen here. And I have the Wheel of Fortune and I have the Ace of Cups. Like, I am really, it talks about divine timing. And so for those of you who are wondering, is this about, potentially a relationship? Yes, if you are already in a connection with someone, then I am picking up that you're going to experience some turmoil with the person that you are in connection with this year. However, that turmoil is necessary to determine if this is the one for you, because you are ascending to a higher level of consciousness and you need to know if this person is going to be with it or not. So you take an action, okay, or they are, but we're going to get some clarification here. Then at the end of the year, you go in places. Like I said, December, this is the Eight of Cups. Okay, this is walking away. There's 10 cups in the tarot, and so, well, a lot of readers can look at this a couple of different ways, really. But when I see the Eight of Cups, he's walking towards his Two of Cups. Okay, there's 2 cups missing from here. So he is going to go get his 2 cups so he can be complete, so he can be fulfilled, so she can be complete, so she can be fulfilled. And that is the energy that I picked up on for your latter part, for your fourth quarter, Aquarius. I just love when your card pops out in your reading. That's beautiful. But you're walking toward your destiny. You're going to seek and find. I'm surprised the hermit didn't jump out here, but that is, well, we'll see when I clarify. So that's your message for the year of 2020. All right, so now we're going to clarify. Wow, they didn't want to waste no time. Okay, so how funny is that? All right, just clarifying everything for me. Thank you. I think the spirit said you done ran over on your time. So I might do this spread a little bit different for the rest of you guys are my first one, Aquarius. So let's see. Oh goodness. All right, everybody's coming out here. Makes sense. Really? Uh-oh. Okay. Some of these stories is changing. Some of them are the same. Huh. Okay. Thank you for the sign of Aquarius. Okay. Wow. Okay. It's not playing. It's not playing at all. All right. Oop. Something jumped out of there. Okay. Oh. Okay, for some of you. Wow. Okay. All right. So there's lots of confirmation here. Okay. Oh, overall energy, King of Pentacles. Okay, King of Pentacles, he's the husband. He's stable. Um, he's got his stuff together. He's got it going on. He is earth energy. Okay. Grounded. That is Virgo, excuse me, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Okay, so that may be significant for you as well. We did have that Page of Pentacles. Again, I am picking up on that loving myself energy, even from the King. Like, I love myself, you know? So if you haven't been taking care of yourself, treating yourself, Aquarius, now might be the time to do that. Okay. So what we have here, Aquarius, my spiritual intuitive messages for you for the year of 2020. We have some cutting off of some things that do not serve you any longer. Okay. So going back to the beginning where you needed to kind of humble yourself. Okay, guess what popped out again? The Eight of Swords. Okay, so being trapped in your mind about something. Again, it just feels like you need to see it differently. You need to see it differently, Aquarius. So I don't know if you've been up on your high horse or something, but you need to come down, because otherwise, if you don't come down, God gonna knock you down. That's how I feel. What I'm getting off of this, these cards here. Okay. Please understand that some of the general meetings, I do spiritual intuitive messages. So these messages are coming from my guides, and yours as well. If you are tuned in and your energy is tapped into me. So the general meaning of the card, may not be necessarily the message. So understand that if those are for those of you who are not familiar with tarot. Okay, so moving on. Here you go. Queen of Cups. This is water energy. This is Scorpio. Goodness gracious, why am I struggling with this today? Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. Okay. This is a lot of water energy. This is the cups are about emotions. You are overflowing with emotion. Okay. In the month of February. Excuse me, you. Excuse me, y'all. Losing my voice. Been talking too long. I told you I carry on. But you are overflowing with emotion. Happy. Okay, because God blessed you with something. So keep that in mind. That's for the month of February. All right, for March, like I said, there's some missed opportunity. This is when that anxiousness begins. This is when that turning and tossing and turning, that flip-flopping at night. This is that overthinking. This is being trapped in the mind about what you should have, could have done. The Four of Cups here is about a missed opportunity. You were paying attention to the other three cups that you missed the one that God was trying to hand you. So be mindful of that, because God's trying to hand you that cup in February. Okay. So be mindful, because blessings come in disguise. So that thing that you were trying to ignore might have actually been your blessing. So that's the message for that first portion of the year. Here we have the Three of Cups with the Eight of Swords for March. Excuse me, for April. So the Three of Cups talks about celebration. It talks about reconciliation. Here with the Eight of Wands, you have you are overthinking some type of reconciliation or celebration. Maybe some family gathering or something that you don't really want to go to. I think it's heavier than that. I think it's deeper than that. I think it has something to do with your spiritual transformation that is occurring. I think that there is something tied to social, like you may be dealing with your social anxiety, and trying to avoid events like this, or spirit wants you to avoid events like this because um, you you need to remain. I tell you, I'm surprised that the Hermit did not come out, because I'm really picking up Hermit energy here for you, Aquarius. That you kind of need, well, we are, you know, eh, I say we because it's my moon, but um, my mother was an Aquarius as well, so I know you all very well. But you have a similar energy to the Hermit, or the Virgo energy, if you will. It's very similar in terms of withdrawing from people, very stoic, very you enjoy your solitude. And that's what I'm getting here. Like, you stressing, you missed an opportunity, and so now you're avoiding everybody. Or maybe an opportunity passed you by, or you lost an opportunity, and so trying to save face, you're avoiding everybody. um, and it's really just like nobody cares. Just go out to the party. That's what Aquarius, just go to the party. Like, nobody's even thinking about that, whatever it was. Okay. All right. And then it just carries over. Like I said, the Seven of Wands is here. So the Seven of Wands is really defensive. It's really, for me, it is standing your ground. It is being in your own power, and pushing back those who are trying to get into your energy field. So what I have, the Page of Swords here, which I told you oftentimes can be a nosy Rosie. And then I have the Seven. You may be getting off of social media. You may be blocking certain individuals from your social media. Um, Somebody's blocking you, but this is your energy. I do pick that up as you, Aquarius. So there's something going on with you where you are withdrawing. Okay, definitely, you are withdrawing this year, from those who don't serve you any longer, or in order to protect your energy. Okay. Then we have this guy. He's not my favorite guy. And I don't know why he pops out at the most randomest times, but he does. Seven of Swords. He's sneaky. He's deceitful. He lies. He's not someone that you can trust. Look at him looking back to see if anybody coming, right? He then stole all the swords and trying to get away with it. I can't stand when he shows up. Sometimes it's a good thing. So when I'm looking at him coming out with the Hierophant for you, Aquarius, I think that you should be mindful of those around you, or even, I want to say, if this is a love romance relationship, that maybe someone was seeking a higher level of commitment for the wrong reasons. Yeah. So you want to keep that in mind. Okay. In terms of your spiritual transformation, it's almost like you are sneaking away from your traditional organization that you've been affiliated with. So all of that, blocking on social media and withdrawing from the crowds, like, leads to you pretty much sneaking away. Maybe you have a very strong tie. I don't want to go so far as to say like you are you are an usher, or you serve in the choir or something like that, and then all of a sudden you don't go to choir practice anymore. Okay. So it's general. Then here we go with the King of Wands and the Queen of Swords. Woo! When she show up, she cutting it out. She don't want nothing to do with it no more. She is fierce, honey. If it is not serving her, it has got to go. And she is taking action towards that. She is not going to settle for anything less than. So that's what's happening here with the King of Wands. Then we have the Page of Wands here, and he has some good news. He has some good news. So again, that Four of Pentacles of you, like I said earlier, it was really heavy energy of you just pulling away, pulling back. Okay. Well, there's some news surrounding that. There is some messages or some information that you're going to receive. And maybe in terms of stability too, because again, this is general. So I'm picking up on a few different energies here for this particular message. But there's some messages that are coming through in terms of your stability, or in terms of something that you are holding on to. There's a message regarding that. Okay, Aquarius. So, like I said, Jupiter returns. Jupiter is coming back. Jupiter is coming to bless you. The Ten of Wands here is about releasing burdens. Okay. You can't carry any more wands than that. You really can't. Sometimes for me, I pick up an energy of like he's going to build a house. So Jupiter could be blessing you with a new home. This is totally possible. If if that's something that you desire, again, like I said before, be mindful of what you're setting your intentions to, what it is that you want, and kind of detail it out, so that Jupiter blesses you accordingly. But your burdens are over. This is when, the relief is coming for you. So what you're going through, you will see some relief towards the end of the year, towards September. I even want to say it will be like into August and then going into September. You might want to look further into the planetary alignments and see just when, Jupiter's supposed to be in Capricorn or Sagittarius, depending on how you look at it. But you might want to take a look at that planetary alignment and see how that works out for you for more information. Sorry, I don't have any references for you today, but I will in the future. Then going into October, that enlightenment, that awareness is attracting. Okay, it's very attracting. That's what I'm picking up. This is the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups talks about offers in love, new love potentially. It has that Pisces energy because you have that fish in the cup. It's water, it's emotions, right? But the energy that I'm picking up for this for you is that it's attractive. So what you are experiencing this year, hold yourself high. Don't look like what you're going through. And your energy is going to be attracting. And that doesn't have to be romantic. A lot of us, that's what we want to hear. That's what we want to know about. But it's also just attracting the things that you love. Okay, that's what I'm picking up for you, Aquarius. All right, so moving on. We have Queen of Wands here with the Six of Swords. Six of Swords is about moving into calmer waters. It's about leaving that troubled past behind. It's about taking that action to move forward in life. So that's what's happening for you in the month of November. Or you could be taking a trip. You could be going on a cruise or something, depending on what part of the country you live in. Trying to get away from the cooler weather and go see some sunshine or whatever. But Aquarius, you're moving forward in life. Queen of Wands, Six of Swords, you out of there. And that takes me over here to the end of the year, where we have the Eight of Cups and the Ace of Wands. So the Ace of Wands clarified your Eight of Cups, and I think that's the most beautiful thing ever. Ace of Wands talks about a brand new passionate idea, talks about a brand new passionate beginning, talks about, to me, it's an inner knowing that you have to go forward and do, right? It's just, I don't know why I get that so heavily from the Ace of Wands here in this reading, but going forward, I have to go do this. I have to. So this is the Eight of Cups. You have to go and get your 2 cups. You have to. All right. There is some landscaping going on outside, guys, so I do apologize if you can hear that in the feedback. Try to make sure it's more quiet next time. Okay, so let's see one more. Your additional messages, Aquarius. For the year of 2020. If there's an additional message. I did shuffle these earlier, but I felt compelled to do another. Okay. Any additional messages for the sign of Aquarius for the year of 2020? Thank you. Oh, that's real loud. Y'all probably hear all of that. That's okay. That may be some spiritual confirmation. Look at that. Okay, so what popped out for you all is meditation. I'm not surprised. This is my card when I'm starting to get off my path. It just jumps out at me. Meditation. It just reminds me to get in the zone. So as we read it, says, seek the inner knowledge that meditation provides. Find that voice within. Find that voice within you to guide you at this time. So that is your message, Aquarius, for the year of 2020. Love and light.